The new design language at WWDC 2025, called Liquid Glass, appears across iOS 26, iPadOS 26, macOS Tahoe, watchOS 26, tvOS 26, and visionOS 26. Surfaces reveal soft translucency that reflects light like real glass. Layers shift in depth to guide the eye from one element to the next. Buttons, sliders, panels, and menus blend with background colors, while keeping strong contrast for clear reading. Icons carry multiple layers that gently shift between light, dark, and clear modes as screens change. Subtle animations signal when a control is active, making each tap feel precise and deliberate. On the lock screen, the time floats above the wallpaper in the San Francisco font. Each number may adjust its weight, width, and height to balance with the chosen background image. Photos on the home screen gain a mild three-dimensional effect, causing familiar scenes to seem to lift off the display. Alerts and banners display in floating cards that blur content behind them, preserving hierarchy without blocking context. Sidebars and pop-over panels slide out from their parent controls in a fluid motion, creating a sense of spatial connection. Dynamic island interactions now blend with liquid glass. Notifications expand as glassy panels around the pill shape, with background blur matching the app's accent hue. Action buttons emerge from the island in a smooth motion, then recede with a gentle fade. This effect brings consistency between system events and app alerts without breaking visual harmony. In core apps such as Safari, Mail, and Calendar, the header bars adopt liquid glass translucency with a slight color tint. The reading view in Safari shows text over a softly blurred page background, so the reading area feels distinct from toolbars. In Mail, folders slide in from the left panel with a fade-through effect, while messages appear in crisp cards with blurred headers that echo the folder tint. Calendar events pop into view with a light ripple animation that grows from the tap point, reinforcing the link between selection and result. Media apps embrace the new style with elegant integration. In music, album art sits behind translucent playback controls, and a looping visual motif cycles beneath the play button. The now playing screen transitions between full-cover art and a mini player via a gentle scale and fade effect. In photos, scrolling through images shows each preview framed by a faint glassy rim. Video playback overlays adopt soft gradients that flow in time with the content. Podcast displays episodes as floating cards with artwork shining through from beneath. Home and health gain subtle glass effects to unify utility and glanceability. In home, accessory tiles rest on blurred glass backdrops that echo room colors, while automation triggers ripple outward from tap points. In health, summary and trends pages show key metrics on floating glass panels. Heart rate, sleep, and activity rings appear over softly tinted layers that adapt to light and dark modes. Data charts use depth layering to separate axes and data points, aiding quick comprehension without adding visual clutter. Expected updates to developer tools include new SwiftUI, UIKit, and AppKit APIs for liquid glass. Interfaces built with these tools will inherit default glass materials, depth layering, and motion presets. Developers may adjust glass intensity, blur radius, and lighting direction through simple property interpolations. Metal shaders drive real-time blur and refraction using hardware acceleration on A-series and M-series chips. These APIs will adapt effect quality automatically to preserve high frame rates on older devices. New Xcode simulators allow real-time preview of glass effects under different lighting and contrast settings. Accessibility features benefit from liquid glass motion cues. VoiceOver now describes glass layers and blur levels to orient users. Color filters and contrast adjustments apply to translucency without breaking visual depth. Dynamic type respects layer hierarchy by scaling text within glass panels while maintaining clear boundaries. Assistive touch gains glass-style overlays to highlight touch targets in a non-intrusive way. Closed captions in video apps now appear on a semi-opaque glass bar that adapts to background scenes for optimal readability. Alongside liquid glass, Apple Intelligence arrives as a privacy-first AI layer on every device. Live translation in FaceTime, phone, and messages works on device, keeping speech data private. Incoming calls from unknown numbers are screened silently, with transcripts offered to the user, and music cue playback held until a human agent connects. Messages now include an unknown sender inbox and optional summaries that capture key points in simple language. Siri suggestions appear as floating cards that blur the background, integrating AI hints without jarring the user interface. SharePlay controls in FaceTime adopt glass overlays that show participant thumbnails on blurred backdrops. iPadOS 26 adopts more Mac-like features to boost productivity. App windows become resizable and movable beyond full screen and split view modes. A new shelf bar holds frequently used apps in a slim, translucent tray at the bottom. Drag and drop feels more precise, with subtle haptic feedback on supported devices. Universal control improvements make it easier to drag content between an iPad and a Mac without manual pairing. Stage Manager gains glassy thumbnails that preview app groups with blur and depth cues. Swift Playgrounds on iPad receives real-time code previews with glass overlays that highlight syntax changes. macOS now includes a native phone app that offers on-device AI call handling and smart voicemail transcription. Shortcuts receives a redesigned editor with draggable blocks that animate into place. The menu bar gains a compact control center button that expands into a translucent panel for quick access to settings. CarPlay OS also adopts liquid glass, with glassy sidebars and media controls that refract incoming map routes under a blurred surface. Handoff between CarPlay and iPhone flows through glass-style transition animations. On watchOS 26, Workout Buddy provides real-time guidance using on-device AI to offer spoken cues. Wrist gestures like a double tap can start or pause timers without tapping the screen. Smart Stacks adapt their content based on the user's daily routine, showing weather in the morning and activity rings later in the day. The always-on display blends with glass materials, dimming blur intensity while preserving depth. Time to stand and heart rate alerts appear as glassy banners that slide in and out fluidly. Vision Pro and tvOS integrate liquid glass in immersive spaces. Vision Pro controllers appear as floating glass panels that the user can resize. tvOS apps gain translucent sidebars that hint at content off-screen. A new Games App Hub brings cloud gaming titles into a single glassy launcher with support for PlayStation and Xbox controllers. AirKit and RealityKit scenes overlay glass effects on real-world objects, such as floating toolbars that match the lighting and blur of the environment. Spatial audio controls in Vision Pro use glassy sliders that curve with head movement. Battery life and performance metrics remain a priority under the new visuals. Power-saving modes reduce glass blur intensity and motion complexity when the battery is low, preserving essential visuals without draining energy. Thermal management adjusts blur sampling rates when devices run hot, ensuring consistent system responsiveness. Frame pacing systems monitor GPU load and may lower blur fidelity during high-intensity tasks like gaming. Developer sessions at WWDC highlight design guidelines for liquid glass, covering topics such as glass material layering, motion timing, and adaptive layouts. Videos demonstrate how to test glass effects on multiple device sizes and how to balance clarity with translucency in high-contrast scenarios. Sample code and annotated demos will help developers adopt these effects quickly and maintain performance. Workshops include deep dives on AR-KIT integration and custom shader creation for glass materials. With the developer beta available now and a public beta expected in July, Apple may refine liquid glass clarity and accessibility based on user feedback. The full release will likely coincide with new hardware in autumn 2025, marking the most significant design and functional update in over a decade.